What is going on, my Houston Texans family, and welcome to the first Victory Monday of the season. I wanted to immediately drop a video yesterday, but I decided to enjoy the dub. Man, it feels good to finally be in the win column, huh? The Houston Texans, they dominate the Tennessee Titans 26-0. I think the last time the Houston Texans shut out a team, it was the Tennessee Titans, and it was the game where Andre Johnson put belt to ass on Cortland Finnegan. We talked about this being a get-right game for the Houston Texans, and it was. But if you remember one of the things that I said, if this was not a dominant performance, even if we get a win, I'm still going to feel the same way I was feeling about the offense. Then late in the third quarter happened. Then the Houston Texans went to 3 straight trips to the red zone, 3 straight touchdowns, and this is what I've been wanting. This is when I say, with a Super Bowl caliber defense and a middle of the pack offense, the Houston Texans can be really scary. But before we get into this dub, guys, episode brought to you and powered by Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Football has never been more exciting than it is now, with players like C.J. Stroud, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Jefferson. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to a 1,000 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right and you could win big. Use promo code 713HOU and you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Shout out to the Lone Star Tailgaters. We were out there, me and the family got absolutely trashed. Shout out to my 2 OGs that came in. We took a shot. I love you guys. You guys make me want to come back and turn on this camera every single year. I would not be nothing without you guys. I love y'all. And I'm sorry for the Mocos. Let's start off with the way this offense was going. Because this game, even though the score is 26-0, it doesn't really give you a good idea of how this game went. Because it was a tale of two halves, right? The first half, it was the same old Houston Texans. An offense just with no umph, no type of creativity. When Nick Caley said we go out there and script plays and those are our best plays, I was thinking, man, this offense is just going to be cheeks all year. I literally tweeted that. Then we went into halftime. Then late in the third quarter, this Houston Texan offense woke up. C.J. Stroud on the day, 22 of 28, 233 yards, 2 tutties, no interceptions, a quarterback rating of 125.1. Guys, what we saw towards the end of the game was C.J. Stroud trusted his offensive line. C.J. Stroud looking like he did in year one, where it was just we have a demon back there throwing the football. Can they keep this up? I don't know. But it's nice knowing that this offense has the capability of going to the red zone 3 times in a row. 3 straight touchdowns, right? Your first red zone touchdown of the year came against Tennessee. You ended up leaving with 3 of them. I think the big takeaway from yesterday was that the Houston Texans might have found their new starting running back, and that is rookie Woody Marks, who not only impressed on the ground, but through the air as well. Rushing the football, Woody Marks, 17 rushes, 69 yards, 4.1 yards a carry. His longest was 18 yards. That was that touchdown to just put the cherry on top against the Tennessee Titans. Through the air, 4 receptions, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Also had a screen on 3rd and 17 where our drive looked dead. No, Woody Marks does it himself. There was another play where Woody Marks was pass protection and absolutely leveled the Tennessee Titan. Woody Marks, ladies and gentlemen, he has something special to him. Whenever the ball is in his hands, crazy and good things happen. Now this has me thinking about the Texans running back group. Because when and if Joe Mixon gets back, this rushing attack is going to be scary. Nick Chubb himself on the ground, 13 attempts, 47 yards, 3.6 yards a carry. His longest was 11. So Woody Marks led in rushes. However, Nick Chubb started the game. I have no problem with that whatsoever. If Joe Mixon comes back, if he's healthy, this rushing attack is really going to be scary, ladies and gentlemen, because you have two running backs who can not only do it on the ground, but through the air, and then you have Nick Chubb, who's just a bruiser who will wear teams down as the game goes on. But we saw life from the running back position. Woody Marks, guys, he's something special. I mean, even his mom tweeted it out right after he had that big block against the Tennessee tight end. She said, protect the quarterback at all costs. I just love that. I love that. Receiving, Nico Collins. Who was covering him? I really don't know. He was targeted 6 times, 4 receptions, 79 yards. His longest was 37, and that came when the Texan offense was dead. 3rd and long. No, let's give an opportunity to one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. And the cornerback who shall not be named was lucky that ball wasn't a little more inside, because Nico Collins would have been running to the house. That 79 yards would have easily been triple digits. Felt like this offense felt like it got some confidence. And like I always say, as contagious as good play is, bad plays also. But the Texans were on the good side yesterday. Dalton Schultz, 5 catches, 30 yards. Okay. Jaden Higgins, your rookie, 1 catch, 24 yards, a tutty. It was a play that C.J. Stroud checked into himself, right? And what I like about that touchdown is that in the first half, he had it, right? And I think it either would have went to Higgins or Dalton Schultz. Gets it the second time, touchdown for the rookie. Christian Kirk, 3 catches, 20 yards, gave a little BTA, just letting them know that Tennessee just couldn't mess with the Houston Texans, really. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball. I mean, guys, Cam Ward, 10 of 26, 108 yards, no tutties, 1 interception, sacked twice, quarterback rating of 35.4. Cam Ward's family looks sick watching. And respect to Cam Ward. When he said that we're ass, he gained some points in my book. You got to be honest with yourself. Shout out to Cam Ward. I know it was tough out there. Danielle Hunter welcomed him to the NFL. 2 sacks for number 55. 0 points, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely crazy. Let's go to the defensive stats. Kamari Lassiter, 5 tackles, 2 of them solo. E.J. Speed got the start at linebacker. 4 tackles, 2 of them solo. Danielle Hunter, right? We said 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 3 of them solo. Jalen Petrie, 2 tackles for loss. Henry Tua only 4 tackles, but man, he just keeps on missing tackles. Azeez Al-Shaair, a pass breakup. Kamari Lassiter, 2 pass breakups. Derek Stingley, they didn't target Derek Stingley at all, which is why you got to see, Kamari Lassiter a lot involved in this game. But Derek Stingley, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup. Will Anderson Jr., only 2 tackles. He had a sack wiped away by a penalty, but, dude, the Texans might have one of the best edge rushing duos in the NFL. Tomi Tagai, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass breakup. Tomi Tagai, or Togai, I will get that last name correct. He's making a name for himself. He really is. I liked our defensive tackles, right? Sheldon Rankins, MJ Stewart, but I keep on looking at Tommy and thinking, there's something special to you. And Derek Barnett even got in. With that being said, it was just BTA on the defense. Of course, it helps out when you get 2 missed field goals from the kicker. Shout out to the crowd for that. I know who's coming next week. The Baltimore Ravens. There might be no Lamar Jackson. There might be no Marlon Humphrey. They're pretty banged up after that KC game. But we'll get to that game in a couple of days. The Houston Texans, they put a statement win out there. A much-needed statement win. Some takeaways more from the offense. CJ shot him more. He looked more comfortable as the game went on. And he found his rhythm in the third and fourth quarter. The offensive line continues to be good on the ground, and it continues to improve in terms of pass protection. As these weeks have gone on, I find myself saying, the O-line's playing, a little bit better. Ed Ingram has played fantastic. Ariante Urshary, another solid game at left tackle. Drew Scruggs, where did he come from? Starting and splitting reps with Laken Tomlinson. I like that. Jake Andrews, you got beat by Jeffrey Simmons, but that's Jeffrey Simmons. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans, they get their first win of the season. We can all take a deep breath. We have Baltimore coming next, then the bye, but your offense woke up. For more Houston Texans content, you guys all know what to do. Feel free and follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very, very blessed day. And shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this episode. Promo code 713HOU gets you a $100 deposit match up to $100.